Welcome to Module 6.2, Audience Analysis and Research Communication. In this session, we'll explore how understanding your audience is foundational to effective research communication. The most brilliantly designed study will have limited impact if its findings aren't communicated in ways that resonate with those who could benefit from or act on the research. We'll examine different audience types and their unique needs, approaches for analyzing audience characteristics, and strategies for tailoring communication to different groups. This audience-centered approach helps researchers move beyond one-size-fits-all communication toward more targeted, effective sharing of their work. Different audiences engage with research for distinct purposes, creating varied communication needs. Academic peers typically seek methodological details, theoretical frameworks, and connections to existing literature that allow them to evaluate rigor and build on findings. Practitioners and professionals focus on practical applications, implementation considerations, and specific guidance that helps them incorporate findings into their work. Policymakers need concise summaries of evidence with clear policy implications, often emphasizing economic impacts and alignment with current priorities or problems. The general public benefits from accessible explanations of why the research matters, how it might affect their lives, and engaging narratives that connect to values or concerns. Research participants and communities deserve respectful communication that acknowledges their contributions, explains findings in context, and addresses implications for their specific situations. Recognizing these distinct needs helps researchers move beyond the default academic communication style to reach audiences more effectively. Effective audience analysis requires examining several key characteristics that influence communication strategy. Prior knowledge level affects how much background information and explanation of technical concepts audiences need, ranging from expert peers to those with minimal subject familiarity. Information needs vary based on how audiences will use research findings, whether for advancing theory, designing interventions, making policy decisions, or personal understanding. Preferred communication channels differ across audiences, from academic journals to policy briefs, professional publications, social media, or community meetings. Decision-making constraints include time limitations, competing priorities, and organizational contexts that affect how much information audiences can process and what types of evidence most influence them. Values and priorities shape what aspects of research resonate most strongly, whether methodological innovation, practical utility, cost-effectiveness, social justice implications, or other dimensions. Analyzing these characteristics helps researchers craft communications that meet audiences where they are. Understanding audience characteristics guides multiple aspects of communication strategy. Content selection and emphasis involves highlighting different aspects of research depending on audience interests, methods and theoretical contributions for academics, practical implications for practitioners, or relevance to current issues for policymakers. Technical language adaptation requires adjusting terminology, statistical presentation, and jargon based on audience expertise without oversimplifying to the point of inaccuracy. Medium and format selection means choosing appropriate communication vehicles, journals for peers, interactive workshops for practitioners, brief reports for policymakers, or multimedia approaches for broader audiences. Message framing considerations involve connecting research to audience values and priorities, whether scientific advancement, practical problem solving, economic implications, or social benefit. Engagement approach customization addresses whether communication should be one-way information sharing or involve dialogue, feedback opportunities, and collaborative interpretation of findings. These tailored strategies help ensure research communication achieves its intended impact with each specific audience.